welcome in. This is final round coverage of Go Throw event number 4. This is the Kayak Point Showdown. This tour is brought to you guys, presented by Prodigy Disc. Today we are in a beautiful forest. I'm Luke Humphreys. Joining me in the booth, Mr. Matt Bell. What are the players going to experience out there, Matt?
They're going to face the toughest wooded course they've ever seen. There's a lot of tight lines here where it's hard to maneuver through.
Yep.
And par is a good number on a lot of these holes.
That is today. Yeah, you're going to have eagle opportunities as well. The pars are going to range from easy to get to feeling like it's a bad score at times.
Absolutely.
The man that shot the course record yesterday, 12 under par, doubling the prior course record, currently rated as a 364 rated UDisc round, unheard of to my knowledge. And chasing him down, Carter Aaron's the local. How old is this guy, Matt?
He is 17 years old and a former local here, so he does have the most experience on these courses.
Yeah, taking down a few events on the property. And we got Luke Taylor, no stranger to playing on that final card. Did it at Worlds 4 straight rounds, the last 4 rounds. So he knows what to do under pressure. I look forward to seeing him chase down the leader. And then we got Ben Calloway. Matt, tell us about Ben.
Ben's one of the best long distance throwers on tour, and he also is one of the straightest throwers on tour. So I'm excited to see what he can do on this course. A lot of the shots do demand throwing it very straight.
If I could have like anybody's putt, the way that his putts go in from 40 feet, just hard, high, dead center, it'd probably be Ben Calloway's putt. Starting with a gem of a hole. You want to throw this thing about 250 straight and then somehow drop down 50 feet in elevation while keeping it straight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. This is MPO lead card Kayak Blue today. Going to be contesting the wooded version after being in the open. Teeing off the guy who shot a 364 UDisc rating. It's literally unheard of. We're talking to the owners about it tomorrow. We're going to figure out exactly what's happening with that. 364 rated, doubling the course record. Give it up for Mr. Gannon Burke.
Worth noting, this is the second day in a row he hasn't warmed up at all. He's thrown a few putts, but no shots. Yesterday, it worked out really good.
Yeah, I did see him working in the field after his round, probably honing in a couple things, but he's going straight into it here.
Yeah, stable fairway driver, forehand. You can sneak out the left side. There's actually kind of a pure alleyway.
It looks so good.
And you just hit the very back of the alleyway.
All right, this next guy, we called him a local for a little while before he moved to Nashville. He's won multiple tournaments out here, just 4 strokes back. Knows the course as good as any. Give it up for Carter Aaron.
Yeah, his new home just south of Nashville, Tennessee. He's repping some Titans gear. Love to see it.
Knows it as well as he could. It's only been in for 2 years, so it's still being developed as we speak. And short left is bogey potential.
All right, this next guy played a bunch of lead card at Worlds last year. Good as any, out of Michigan. Give it up for Luke Taylor.
I love talking about what he did at Worlds last year. It was so awesome to see a young guy get on the lead card, then stay on the lead card with great play day after day, putting himself in contention to win world championships, which would change this guy's life. I think he's going to be here in disc golf for a long time. Dude,
yeah, it's been great watching him find his form out here, just in the last few events.
I was
near perfection there.
Near perfection. Now we had a couple motorcycles drive by right as Ben's name was drawn. Just trying to follow Luke's trail, really. That was as good as it gets. Just a corkscrew putter down the middle, understable. Thing didn't move a line, but changed angles the whole way.
There it is, Ben pushing his flippy putter through the initial gap, which is the main goal here on this course.
Yep.
Make
Yep.
sure you get down there.
Yeah, that was the right disc. An understable putter, I think, is the best way to do it, unless you're going with that Gannon line when you're going outside left, which I saw a bunch of people do.
Wow, and it looks like just kind of a overhand utility throw there.
Totally. Yeah. Getting back into play, that's like, as you see now, about 70, 80 feet, so hard to guarantee the par there, but
Just a slow developing thumber almost
yeah.
on the shape.
Like you said, that's Bogeyville over there on the short left. If it happens, you just got the raw kick.
Yeah, that's one of the undeveloped areas of the course right there.
Yep.
And as tight as the lines are on this course, they did an incredible job limbing the course. So scrambles are definitely out there for people. It's just the initial tee gaps are the toughest.
Well, half go from Carter. Only 17 years old. He's got an arm speed of like 75 miles an hour. Dude absolutely bombs. He parked a 699 footer yesterday. Got the eagle on that hole.
I believe he was clocking in at 85 miles an hour. 75 is still impressive.
Excuse me, you're exactly right. Jake Hebenheimer, who throws super far, throws 75, and he was telling me Carter was at 85. Not a tall guy either, just generates an enormous amount of torque.
Yeah, the only other person we know of that consistently can throw in the mid-80s is David Wiggins Jr.,
Wow.
the current world record holder.
Well, Anthony Burrell.
AB as well?
I mean,
Okay.
I'm sure.
He's got to.
I don't know. He's the human freak. He's the video game. His current status, I just call it video game status, the way that he's playing the game right now. Headed into hole 2. We got a par 3, 345. I kind of think a flex forehand plays the best for this hole. Take that inside or this outside gap being flown, get it to turn over a little bit and then stable back out. Don't try and park it ending up down the hill, circle's edge left, I think is kind of the position play.
Definitely. There is a little bit of a right side hyzer gap, but it's a bit pokey. You have to power through it and make sure it doesn't drop or you're not going to get there. Looks like Gannon's going to go for it here. He's got the power to get there.
Yeah.
Really go left.
Great kick there. He had the proper height on it to make that gap work and got him up there for a look maybe.
Oh, she's so lucky.
Do it.
Oh my goodness,
Didn't deserve
weaving.
it. Nor did I want it.
Well, righty backhand from Luke Taylor trying to improve on Gannon's line and hits the same group of trees.
Here we go. This is a backhand guy throwing the forehand. I was hoping we'd see it.
Oh.
Quite overturned. Probably trying to do it with maybe a little too stable of a disc based on the angle he attempted there. Maybe just missed it though.
Yeah, that tree Ben ran into, that's the one you want to slide it behind and you'll get down there. He unfortunately just pulled it a little bit left right into it.
Forehand got you into trouble. Try and get the forehand to get you out.
You have to work it all.
Did not. Continue trouble. Looking like a bogey here, but not even said and done yet.
Yeah, that is tough. That's the last tree there on the left side till you're accessing the pin location. So
Oh, that's so good.
lasers went in there to save
We got one.
his bogey.
Yeah, that's nice. Carter's looking at a few different options. And that's just course knowledge there. Going with the widest one, playing down the hill, kind of where I was talking about where you land a forehand. That's a good place to putt from.
Absolutely. And Luke and Gannon should have these little putter
Wow.
approaches down the hill. It's really tough to have the speed control to hold it that close. So
No
that was
kidding.
good job from Luke there.
It's always nice to just hit the basket and stay close. All right. Gannon's got himself a look. This would be kind of a statement. Oh, no. Ooh, that's annoying. And his cardmates have to wonder if he's getting a stroke. What do you think? Good?
It's definitely a big moment for the round right here. I mean, he's going to lose some momentum if he doesn't make it.
High right. Sticks. Nice grab. That first putt was fantastic too, really just a little short.
Yeah, that was a great job from Gannon, not losing a stroke on the card right there. And
Yeah. Even his misses look good. Nice save from Carter.
Yeah, go ahead.
There we go. Yeah, as we tap out, guys, we are starting the GoThrowTour in Puerto Rico in December this year. 2026 season begins in December down in Puerto Rico. We're looking forward to being back down there with that entire crew, the traveling chains down in Puerto Rico, and also just the entire community. So come join us if you have the possibility to. I'm trying to talk Matt Bell into it right now, and you'll see that off-season coverage, of course.
all you need to do is check the weather that time of year, and you're going to want to go.
No kidding. Yeah, December in Puerto Rico is better than most. Into another par 3, 381. This one plays way uphill, Matt. What's your desired play here?
It's pretty much the full send hyzer flip up right here, but you want to hold it on that hyzer line so it doesn't drift into these trees you'll see in the center of the fairway. You want to stay inside of them and stretch it all the way up there to the pin.
Yep. Gannon going straight fairway driver. Just a little high. You got to throw it high, but that seemed a little nose up.
Yeah, he didn't really pick a side on that one. He went straight down the middle and unfortunately did run into the tree line right there at about 320 feet.
Yeah, he went fairway driver, which was surprising. You can see Luke Taylor, who throws it about just as hard, going full speed driver.
And that's the flip up you're looking for, so it can sneak on either side of that tree line and get you pin high right there.
Yeah. All the way up there into the flat. That's a great spot to be. And Carter's going with an M4. This is just a mid-range here.
I do believe these are one of the furthest flying mid-ranges out there, though. Something about those M4s. They got so much glide on them.
Yeah. I think that was just missing a little height right there, if anything. It's going to be short, possibly even kick down the hill.
That would have been extremely impressive. If it was 5 feet higher, I think he was up there near circle one.
It would have been really impressive. He actually walked up to me and had me sign that disc after he parked a hole with it the other day. That was yesterday during round one.
Perfect.
Hit a tree. Why do you never get the second?
Man, Ben Calloway just a little bit right.
Hit the first, hit the second.
These are gaps and shot shapes that I feel like suit Ben Calloway. You know, a little flip up hyzer, that's kind of his butter zone. Wow, look at this tree. He's got it stuck in his swing a little bit.
You're not wrong, and I would love to see Ben play this course at about 3/4 power. I think he could bump it down a little bit,
Interesting.
and he's still going to have no problem reaching these holes, and
Yep.
it's just going to make hitting the gaps that much easier for him.
Yeah. You're no stranger to tearing up the woods. You got yourself a national tour at Delaware. Good bid from Gannon. That's one of the nastiest wooded courses in the United States. One of my favorites too.
Which is what I loved about Luke Taylor's shot. He dissed up so that he could power down, helping him hit that gap right
Nice.
down the middle.
Solid bid. That was about to be a mid-range birdie on this hole, and his counterparts are throwing fairways and drivers.
Yeah, as Luke attempts to make his birdie putt here.
Oh, look at that. Was the hand out? I think it
Perfect.
was. We're going to get the slow-mo replay. Just a little wrist pop there.
And you got to feel for Carter there. I mean, a foot higher, and he probably is going to have all the momentum he needs to make, a really deep run, which is what he needs today. And to come up short on, a point like this in the round, it's got to be a little tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, look at that fist pump there. Each of these putts early on in a round, you don't hope that they dictate everything, but they kind of just do. The misses, the makes, the breaks. If things go your way early, sometimes it can feel like it's your day. It can give you this superhuman feel.
Yeah, and it's something you're looking for. It's something you need on a course like this, as Ben has no problem tapping out from 40 feet.
That's the 40-footer I want right there. I was talking about it early. That's the one.
Yeah, it starts in the chains already.
Yeah.
It's in the upper echelon of the chains right out of his hand, and then it finishes down in the pocket. I mean, that's an ideal putt from that distance.
Yeah, almost no wobble. He kind of rifles them a little harder than I do, which is, it's always something you like to see from a guy, confident putting stroke. Into another par 3. This one, Matt, a birdie here feels so good.
Yeah, that gap the drone just flew through at about 300 feet. That's really the one you want to get past to manage a par. If you hit early in this first gap, there's almost no chance to save a 3.
Yeah, I feel like the optimal line for the hole dries you up about 40 short, and you're on top of that hill, putting down into the green. Getting that last 20% is the hard part.
And there we go. We almost saw the perfect drive there from Luke Taylor. It's a similar shape to the last hole, but you want this moving right to left on that flip up. Very difficult to execute.
Yeah, it looked like if he beat that one, he was getting all the way up to the green.
Oh, bye. Oh, the second kick. Second kick? Second kick, down.
Yeah,
Both
pushed it
those
too
guys-
straight.
Yeah, he pushed it too straight, but both those guys got through that last gap, which I feel like this is one of the toughest holes on the course. And for them to get that far, they're completely fine.
Come on. Yeah. Stood up. Big skip. Shot. Oh, great, dude.
Doesn't get the skip, but fantastic shot.
Incredible. He pierced both the gaps, the initial ones at about 120 feet, and that second one at 300 feet.
Dude.
I mean, these two gaps are maybe 7 feet across, so for him to line up both of those like that and still move it towards the basket from Carter, that was just an unbelievable shot on this hole.
Yep.
Ben's looking at a wall of trees there. He had to pick one, and unfortunately, those gaps over there on that left side are about 3 to 5 feet across.
Small. Luke finding a little wrister.
Yeah, this basket does sit down in a little bowl here.
Oh, look at this. Oh, no, wait, no. Oh, no. Dang. It went from decent to better to bad to worse.
I was expecting it to curl up at about edge of circle there, and then it's just stayed up on end and rolled out to about 45. So that's just pretty tough right there.
That's disc golf for you.
This basket does sit in a little bowl here, so it does collect everything really good if you just pitch it over this ridge here.
Yeah, it's always blind, though, when you're landing right here, just staring at ferns, trying to die a little hyzer putt in there.
Get down. Drop. Oh.
Fortunate. I was going outside circle one.
Catching the skinniest flag stick they make,
I really think so.
and they squared it.
You saw that thing wobbling back and forth.
That was a big break for Ben right there.
Would have loved to have seen another buried 40-foot comebacker, but park drop's fine for him. A little
Yeah, I
less
think-
stressful as well.
Luke's got us covered for this one here.
All the putts that have missed from that range today all feel like really good putts too.
They do look good. They've all been dead center from these guys.
Yep.
I imagine that's why they're playing on lead card this weekend.
Got something to do with the putting, and then of course yesterday got something to do with that distance.
Hope you're enjoying the kayak point coverage. Prodigy Disc is happy to be the title sponsor of the GoThrowTour, and we're offering you $10 off your next order with code GoThrow10. Go to prodigydisc.com right now to check it out. You're back to watching coverage, and I'm back to work.
All right, back into it with a short par 4, hole 5. Beautiful little fairway right here. Gotta say, this blue course at Kayak definitely shows you the pretty side of Washington.
Absolutely. The adjustment these guys are having to make coming from the course yesterday. Open bomber course, throwing it 600 feet down the hill to having to hit these gaps that are not big.
Right, and this one's a position play. Can't get all the way up there. Got to leave yourself in the right lane.
Through. Fine.
And going high left, hyzering out like Gannon was trying to do, definitely opens up your angle into this green. It should definitely be setting up to be one of these guys' birdie looks as they're game planning the course.
Yeah, unfortunately, Carter's going to kick back over to the other tee pad, and he's going to have to manufacture something just to get a par from there, I think.
Yeah, it looked like he threw that one hard. I don't know if it's not really that type of hole, but maybe these guys are seeing something I'm not.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Yep.
Yeah, you really don't need to push it too far to get an easy birdie look, but you do need to get it left to find that secondary fairway.
Fade.
That's actually a perfect
That's
spot
where
there.
Gannon was originally trying to be right there. That's kind of the opening up of the tunnel.
Yeah, Ben kicked to the perfect spot. He should have a straight shot right at the basket from about 250.
Got a good bit of distance. Awkward stance, though. You could see something right behind him. That's always one of the hardest things for me is having brush in my backswing on my forehand. Creates an odd timing. Gannon, a little straddle out, also an odd timing there, but beautifully done. Gets a little tree help. That's basically tap-in range from Mr. Burr.
Yeah, we're watching Gannon and Luke both line up these sidearms, having it drift left so that it doesn't fade too hard at the end. And he was actually opting to go through one of those tighter lines to go straight at the basket.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't get through.
Taking on a lot of danger right in front of him.
I don't know that that was his highest percentage shot. I think with a little more experience, he'll probably take that around the outside next time.
Yeah, trust the putt. You don't have to park the hole. This game is about giving yourself putts and then doing the practice and putting in the work to make those putts. It's amazing how much the holes and the greens open up when you trust your putting. Once you've practiced and you feel confident at that 30-foot range, you don't feel like you have to park as many holes, and the greens and the shot shapes really open up. Beautiful little putter shot from Ben. Carter right next to Gannon, just outside circle.
No way. And a bit of a silver platter moment, unfortunately, for Carter and Gannon here, as long as he can make good.
Oh my
These are so bad.
goodness. Gannon not super stoked about that, understandably. It look a
Yeah,
little
he's-
high to you?
When it's in the upper echelon of the chains, the spit out percentage does increase
Yeah.
the higher up in the chains you are, and that one unfortunately found the pole,
Yeah, it did.
and as the chains billowed, it pushed it back out.
Yeah. I definitely would like to see those kind of putts staying. I feel like there's some baskets that we play on tour that they will stay on. And I'd love to see us playing on more of those targets in the future. I don't know the exact way we do that. I don't want to affect manufacturer sales in the future, but I mean, it just doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's a tough part of the sport, but it is a testament to a player's willpower and, for how a spit out affects their round. Can they
Yeah.
continue
Yeah.
to deliver a good putt to the basket, or are they going to let that affect their putt and start changing it up?
Yeah. Yeah. Dead center spit out feels as emotional and personal as like a breakup. Like to still have the fortitude to continue on after throwing the putt properly or whatever, sometimes it just feels so personal. Headed into a par 3 that seemingly is so tight you can barely see it. What are you doing here, Matt?
I think the play is a sidearm just because of how far right this pin position is,
Yeah.
and the backhand creates a much smaller window.
This is a full speed driver from Gannon. Ripped down that side. Wow.
And finding a way through the tree line long. You saw the shot of the fairway back there. It's really only right on the pin that you can throw it if you want to hit the fairway.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's good.
2 in a row, sneaking it through the back tree line.
Somebody's closer. See if Ben can follow those nice shots. Still looking to really get his round jump started.
Dude, are you serious?
And Ben's going to be closer than he thinks right there after sneaking it on the inside a little bit. And you can see all these guys busting out their sidearms. This is probably another reason why they're on the lead card here on Sunday. Having both sides of the game helps tremendously out here.
Yeah, you saw Carter's fingers actually separate there. A lot of people go 2 fingers on top of each other. He was actually kind of the fort grip going on.
Yeah, utilizing the peace symbol there for the bottom of his frisbee.
Yeah. Pulling it a little left. Oh, he's taking the skinny alley. Leaks it a little bit, hits a tree, kicks him 80 feet, 90 feet. Looking like a bogey unless he can drop one from deep. You can see that flag blowing in the distance. Ben trying to do a little touchy S curve with an approach disc. Ooh, does it well too. Nice mulch job all around these greens out here. Discs settle really nicely. Not too many roots in the area for weird runaways and rolls.
Yeah, this is worst case scenario for Carter here. He's looking at another 2-stroke swing with the leaders.
Oh,
If he doesn't make good from that 80-footer.
I mean, if you can throw 85, you can stand still from 100 feet. When it comes to putting and just spinning a disc.
Absolutely. We saw his effort there. Chain high, just pulled a little bit to the right. It's hard to play those inside enough to give him
Yeah.
a chance.
And to continue that thought, if you can stand still putt from 100 feet, what is toning down for a 15-footer like?
It comes down to feel at that point, I think.
Yeah.
You just got to trust that your putter's going to stay up for you and not put it too high in the air.
Yeah. Oh, my
You just stopped
goodness. It tried.
These guys are putting these baskets to the test. Thankfully, that one did catch. But
Yeah.
he gave it a chance to pop right out of there with the nubs grabbing the back of his putter like that.
Yeah, it was low left for sure. But gets away
And the
with
spit
it.
out is scaring me.
Greg Barsby has one of the best mindsets for when he spits out during a round, which is daring the basket to spit him out for the rest of the round. And I think that's a great attitude to have.
Yeah. Throw it with even more conviction.
More conviction instead of being tentative
Yeah.
from there forth.
Yeah.
You know,
See-
trying to pace it so it doesn't spit out,
Yeah.
and then you come up short,
Yep.
and you're just changing it too much.
Yeah. Easy to do.
Yeah.
Probably the shortest hole on the course now, 216. Right to left, hyzer.
These are going to be the best opportunities for these guys to actually be able to park one of these holes for
Yeah.
birdie here on
Yep.
the front nine.
Right?
Oh, wow, that tree.
Worst case scenario, you're going to still have a putt for birdie. So
Yeah. Easy to go long, like Gannon just did. Slightly downhill. So if you get a glidey putter spinning just right, float past it easy.
big opportunity for Luke here to get snug and force Gannon to have to make a putt here.
Oh, this looks good. Go in. Ooh. Ideal line.
Yeah, another few feet and we were celebrating.
Yeah, I personally have thrown my bag at this hole before. There's a hyzer line as well. But this is the choice. Ben getting skinny.
Kind of.
Edge of circle. Maybe inside. It
Yeah,
is,
I believe that
early.
tree is well inside the circle, so he
Gotcha.
should have a 25-footer coming up, probably a
Yeah.
straddle around it.
Sometimes even a missed line, getting a birdie kind of the greasy way, if you want to call it that, is good enough to get you started. And Carter doesn't like it, but it wasn't that far from perfect.
No, it was unfortunately a little pulled, but
Yeah.
found that secondary line there around that right side tree.
Show him what I was talking about, Ben.
No way. That thing flew further than my
Oh, yeah.
The flag was indicating there was a little bit of headwind, and that was one of those scenarios where, especially with Ben's putt, he just needs to trust that it's going to stay high enough. If he
Yeah.
forces it up there too high, with that power, it's not going to drop in time.
Yeah, it's not going to come down. He's just a little bit off today. This man is looking hard to catch. Started off with a bunch of pars in a row, really gave the field an opportunity to pick up a couple strokes. They didn't really use that opportunity wisely, and now it feels like he's kind of caught his stride.
Absolutely. You see him putt with so much confidence there. Let his putter run through the target on that uphill lie,
Yep.
so it didn't waver.
Yep.
Really good stuff from Gannon there.
Yeah, my thoughts on putting were so simple. My first year on tour, 2019, and I ended up with Matt Bell in Iowa playing the Titan Open, and you were doing a putting lesson with Lisa Fakis, at the time one of the best putters in the FBO division, and you were talking about how many rotations the disc was going to spin from 15, 20, 25, and 30. It was just blowing my mind that people were thinking in that detail. And since then, my eyes have really opened to what pros are doing. And Gannon obviously has something that other people don't, the way he's putting. As we head into hole 8, another par 3, 393. Look how steep this approach to the green is, Matt.
Yeah, it's nearly impossible to get a backhand there. I think the play is the sidearm if you want to get all the way up to the pin for a birdie look. And you got your choice of 2 4-foot gaps here to maneuver.
Obvious slip there from Gannon.
Mountain in the middle of the tee pad.
Yeah, that's frustrating whenever you hit the gap dead center, and there's a tree there, but
Yeah.
he at least got straight down. Should be able to scramble for a 3.
Luke sees something
No.
with that backhand, but flips it up a little too much, maybe pulled it slightly.
Yeah, it's an easy miss on this hole to overdo it because you do need a full corkscrew on that backhand if you're going to get
Yeah.
it up towards the basket.
Yeah. Yo. That was smoked. He's also got a really powerful forehand. I hadn't really seen Carter's forehand yet. Got that little fork grip generating a ton of spin. Ben's forehand is getting better and better. You can tell that this guy's just a really good athlete. I felt like he didn't have the confidence in the forehand for a long time, but it feels like he's just ripping on him as hard as he can now. And they're coming out smooth and online.
That was surgical the way he threw that disc dead center through that gap that's no more than 6 feet there on the left side. Very impressive from Ben.
Yeah. Nice shot, Luke.
Wow.
Pretty solid.
That is so good. Still left with a tricky putt up the hill. See what Gannon, he's got a fairway driver. Similar style shot to what Luke Taylor just threw. Needing it to keep it tight, go left or right the whole time.
Yeah, these are good approaches to overthrow
Serious?
on these ones
Yeah,
because once they start fading out, they're just not going to get there.
that's a good thought. Just making sure your miss is continuing the turn. Gannon maybe just a bit high. It's only 393, but he threw a full speed and a fairway and then another fairway. Just showing you how high up that is right there. Ooh, cheeky little bid.
Yeah, Ben's showing off that sidearm. He's really got the full package, it looks like.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he just played final round lead card Champions Cup action over in Stockton, so his game's sharp right now as well.
Tricky footing for Luke Taylor there causes him to pull his putt there.
Yep. Ben still looking for that first birdie. We do have some eagle opportunities on the back nine. Some really fun shots. OB carries. Hole 11 and 15 both offer great eagle chances. So he hasn't done it thus far, but all of these guys going to have opportunities on the back nine to get under par. And try and chase down a couple of these guys who have started hot. We'll get to that scoreboard here in a second as we finish up the last hole on this front nine. Par 4, Matt, what are guys trying to do?
You're trying to get something sliding across this valley the whole way. You can't really throw a full power hyzer shot because the angle is a little left to right initially. So you really want something that's going to stand up, ride forward as you try and get as high up on that other hill as you can. And there we see that full hyzer shot is just not going to move right enough to get that late gap.
Just barely off. Tons of pace left in it. Ben's been throwing some really good shots with this disc.
No way.
Wanted to see it fly.
That was going to be the dream shot right there. You saw the left to right move on it. Plenty of height to clear that hill. And instead of an eagle opportunity, he's going to be scrambling just to save par.
Gannon with his favorite full speed right here. Come on.
Yeah, Gannon.
Oh my
Gosh.
goodness.
Perfection.
Kipped right by the basket. Wow, eagle looks for Gannon Burr, looking to push that lead. Wow. Not far off either for Luke Taylor. All three of those guys, you know, Gannon's shot got through, but Wow, they were all thrown with conviction. Tons of power, good angle.
Yeah, and Luke and Ben are just shaking their heads for having not gotten through that gap, because this is one of the best opportunities for an eagle on the course, and to watch Gannon execute it to perfection is really probably closing the door in their minds.
Yeah. All right, awkward stance. Driver, stand still.
Go back to the fairway somehow.
You got to believe that Luke still has a chance. He's just got to get up and down for his birdie here once Ben chips up to save his par.
A little zoomed. He's trying to throw those in, though. You can tell. All right, Luke. This would be big. Probably still doesn't know where Gannon's at. They just know it was good.
He knows he needs to make it.
Yeah, he's just standing in a patch of nettles, too, at the same time. There we go. Nice birdie from Carter.
Yeah, don't let the ferns and the green grass fool you. There is nettle out here to be wary of.
Yeah,
Thankfully, it's only in patches.
right. There it is. The eagle picking up a stroke on the birdie. Hard to catch a guy when he's doing that.
Yeah, you don't need anything to get Gannon going. So, if it's
No
a
kidding.
spit out that it takes for him to start playing to perfection, then
Yeah.
that's what it takes
Yeah.
sometimes.
Honestly. Yeah.
Definitely looks locked in, though, from there.
From here, yeah, nearly acing from 462 down the threaded gap. Incredible stuff from our leader. And what a beautiful place we're at right now. Shout out to Andy, Duffy, Eric, Keith, Brianne, the entire team over at Kayak Point for what they do for the sport and for their course. It's a beautiful place to be. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely do. Gannon Burke keeping that lead intact, now 6 strokes over Luke Taylor, but a few guys doing work out on the course. Adam Hammies jumping up 6 through 12, and look at that, Isaac Robinson on course record pace, 9 under through 16 holes. That is, I think, 8 under was the course record, so he's already passed it, got a few left, and some young guys on the scoreboard as well. Dallas Garber, also 17, as we look at Carter Aaron, 17. Crazy to think how good these youngsters are getting, Matt.
Yeah, to see them shine this brightly at such a young age, it bodes well for our sport.
Really does. I know across the pond in Finland, they're growing them up young, getting them ready at an early age. It's cool to see we're doing the same thing over here. Thank you guys for being with us. This is final round front nine coverage of the 2025 Kayak Point Showdown, 4th stop in the Go Throw Tour, presented by Prodigy Disc. Come join us for that back nine.